Once upon a time, in a prosperous and peaceful kingdom, there lived a beautiful princess. From the time she was little, she grew up in the loving care of her parents, the king and the queen. The castle where she lived stood in the middle of a vast garden filled with blooming flowers and crystal-clear streams flowing all year round. On the princess's 16th birthday, the king brought her a very precious gift, a shimmering golden ball, crafted by the finest artisans in the kingdom. The princess was delighted. Her eyes sparkled like stars as she lifted the golden ball, tilting it slightly so the sunlight passed through and scattered glimmering rays around the room. From that day on, she took the golden ball everywhere, into the garden, around the courtyard, even to the palace balcony. It was not only a gift, it became something that brought her joy every time she touched it. One sunny afternoon, the princess went outside as usual. She ran playfully across the soft grass and tossed the golden ball high into the air. But the ball flew farther than she expected. It bounced across the lawn, rolled downhill, and headed straight toward the deep lake at the end of the garden. And then, it slipped into the still water. Within moments, the golden glow sank into the dark depths and vanished completely. The princess fell to her knees at the water's edge, tears filling her eyes. My golden ball, how will I ever get it back? She sat there for a long time, hearing only the whisper of the wind and the gentle ripples of the lake. As the princess was crying, a soft, gentle voice suddenly spoke. Beautiful princess, why are you crying? Startled, she looked around. No one was there. Down here, the voice called again. She looked down and saw a green frog sitting on a stone by the shore, its round eyes shining with concern. A talking frog? The princess gasped. The frog chuckled. Yes, I'm talking to you. Now please tell me why you're sad. Still overwhelmed with sorrow, the princess explained how her golden ball had sunk to the bottom of the lake. The frog listened carefully and then said, If you truly want your golden ball back, I can help, but I have one condition. Wiping her tears, the princess asked, What condition? I wish to be your friend to live with you in your palace. The frog spoke sincerely. The princess hesitated, but wanting her ball back, she nodded in agreement.
Yes, yes, I promise you everything. Whatever, just get my ball.
All right, wait for me a moment.
Immediately, the frog jumped into the lake and disappeared beneath the dark water. Moments later, it emerged with the glowing golden ball and tossed it onto the shore. Overjoyed, the princess grabbed the ball and said quickly, Thank you. Then she ran straight back to the castle, leaving the frog behind, calling, Princess, have you forgotten your promise? But she did not look back. That evening, while the royal family was having dinner,
I agree. It is a peaceful
there came a
evening.
strange knock at the door.
Oh,
I am the frog,
frog.
the princess's friend. I have been invited.
A maid entered and said, Your Majesty, there is a frog claiming that the princess invited him here. Everyone froze. The princess blushed with embarrassment. The king asked sternly, What did you promise him, my daughter? Unable to hide it, the princess explained the morning's events. The king said, If you gave your word, you must keep it.
Open the door for the frog.
The doors opened. The little frog hopped into the room, bowing politely. Thank you, Your Majesty, for allowing me to enter. It then hopped onto the edge of the princess's plate and asked to share her meal. She was uncomfortable, but because of her promise and her father, she stayed silent. When dinner ended, the princess hoped the frog would leave, but it didn't. The frog followed her all the way to her bedroom and said, "I am sleepy, princess. May I sleep beside you?" The princess turned pale. But remembering her father's words, she reluctantly let the frog climb onto her bed. The frog rested its head on her pillow and fell asleep peacefully. The princess lay beside it, trying her best not to jump away in fear and discomfort. The next morning, the frog gently woke her. "Princess, I have one last request, and then I will leave forever. Could you kiss me?" The princess gasped. "Kay, kiss you?" But thinking that one small kiss would end this ordeal, she hesitated for a moment, then whispered, "Just one, and you must leave immediately." She leaned down and placed a small kiss on the frog's head. The moment her lips touched the frog, a blinding white light burst forth, filling the entire room. The princess shielded her eyes. When the light faded, she opened them and froze in shock. Standing before her was no longer a small frog,
Who are you?
but a
And
handsome
where is
young
the
prince.
frog?
The prince smiled gently. "My princess, I was cursed by an evil witch and turned into a frog. Only by spending one night beside a princess and receiving a willing kiss from her could I return to my true form. Thank you for freeing me." The princess was speechless, but her heart felt unexpectedly light. They both went to see the king. After hearing their story, the wise king said, "This is the lesson you must remember, my child. Never judge someone by appearance alone. Kindness reveals truths the eyes cannot see." A few days later, the prince invited the princess to the very lake where they first met. The setting sun cast a warm golden glow across the rippling water. The prince knelt on one knee and held out his hand. "My beautiful princess, will you come with me to my kingdom and become my queen?" Shy but happy, the princess nodded. At that moment, a nearby frog croaked loudly, but of course, no magic happened. Both of them laughed. Not long after, a grand wedding was held, and the two kingdoms celebrated joyfully. And so, the princess and the frog prince, now a human once more, lived happily ever after. And their story ends here, leaving behind a lesson about kindness, promises, and the quiet magic hidden in simple acts of the heart.